I really appreciated it is somebody sent me some the other day. It's my office actually. It was Donald a big picture of Donald Trump giving me the middle finger, which I think I'm going to actually frame. That one I wanted. I wish I could tell whoever it is. I appreciate that one, but
Yeah,
they
I
didn't
need to
leave
get.
a return
I need.
address.
I need to get caught up on my courtroom sketches because I want to print those and have a whole
Yeah.
gallery of Trump courtroom sketches because
Oh my
they're
God, that's
brilliant.
awesome.
I just, yeah, the artistry in capturing the just the rank awfulness of these people. It's so reflected in the artwork, just how necrotic their souls are.
Necrotic. Nice use
Yeah,
of necrotic. I mean, they are. They
yeah,
are. They're not. Soulless is too easy a way of putting it.
yeah.
I think that they're like out of World War Z. They're sort of walking husks. I don't think that there's anything but an intention to do evil and harm. I
Yeah,
might even
yeah.
go further to Last of Us. I think they're spreading via freaking cordyceps, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? That might be the issue with the Republicans in Congress right now. Jim Comer and Mark Wayne Mullen and all those guys. We were talking about this before the show, though, but why did Republicans decide to all of a sudden throw down yesterday? Why do you think?
You mean Mark Wayne, Jimmy Johns, Billy Bob Thornton, Mullen? Um,
Yes. Okay, well, from now on for the rest of the show, let's refer to each other with a variation of Mark Wayne Mullen. So you're going to be
okay,
Cliff Wayne and I'll be Bob Wayne.
okay, that works. Well, hello there,
Okay,
Bob
Cliff
Wayne.
Wayne.
I'd like to tell you a few things about this. I mean, I don't understand how anybody was elected named Mark Wayne. Let's begin with, right? Because there's got
Yeah.
to be something. No, I'm kidding. It's Oklahoma. Sorry, folks. I know there's Oklahoma fans here. I make fun of Ohio all the time. We're all good, but these things always seem to happen. Like they seem like they gradually go forward. This is the same way, it's always the frog boiling in the pot metaphor that's used. It's the same thing, with any kind of fascistic behavior.
Yeah.
And you don't notice it. There probably were other smaller things. I mean, look, we've seen some of the verbal vitriol that's come
Mm-hmm.
from Republicans. I mean, just I don't know if it was last night or this morning, Marjorie Taylor Greene, standing up and insulting Representative DeLauro for being 80 years old and saying, well, maybe you don't remember this because you're 80 years old. I mean,
Yeah.
what an unbelievably dickish thing to. And Delora was awesome. She's like, so we already passed the CR here, so maybe you don't understand that. And she's like, well, maybe the gentlelady needs a lesson in civics. Just because we passed it here doesn't mean the Senate has passed it. And the
Mm-hmm.
way it works is the House has to pass it, the Senate has to pass it, and the president has to sign it. These are things Marjorie Taylor Greene does not know. And
Yeah.
but the fact is that she chose to go after her on her age and insult her. The verbal vitriol, even between them, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene is referring to Lauren Boebert as a whore, and things like that. I mean, they've gotten to a point where they're and I'm trying to think of new ways to say this because we've discussed this, that they've gotten the people who have now arrived. They shared conspiracies via their distribution systems, Fox News, Rush, and even their candidates shared it. The ones that knew better, as we know, to pander. Shut up, Siri. That wasn't sexist, by the way, folks. And they didn't say they said it to pander to win elections, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that you can only cater to that base for so long and share conspiracies with them and get them frothing at the mouth before they themselves decide to run for office.
Yeah.
And when they do, you've now surrounded them with zombies just like themselves. So eventually, and that is kind of what we're seeing the results of now. You and I could sit here all day long, criticize, and I certainly could, Mitt Romney, Adam Kinzinger, people of that nature who I think were wrong about 90% of things politically.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't scared that Mitt Romney was going to stand up during a Senate hearing and challenge someone to a fight
Yeah. Yeah.
and try to, I've never thought that Adam Kinzinger would stand up and attack Rosa DeLauro by her age, or like Comer did, some screaming match like that off the mic, because he knows he's been caught, because he's trying to yet spin yet another lie and conspiracy about the Bidens, just because a brother loaned a brother $200,000, which I don't
Mhm.
have a brother, but I assume like if you have that kind of money, whether it's $3,000, $300, 300,000, depending upon your income bracket, people, family members lend each other money,
Yeah.
and they're trying to turn this into some big conspiracy. Well, it turns out Comer did the same thing, and he can't stand it that he got busted,
Yep.
that he did the exact same thing. So he screams and yells and thinks he's going to intimidate. And
Yeah, in
like
fact, there were
it's
multiple land swaps that Comer and his brother were engaged in. So
right.
it's not just
So
one exchange of $200,000, reimbursing someone for a loan. There was an entire series of things that Comer and his brother were up
yep.
to. So,
I mean, he's
yeah,
such a
exactly.
slimy little like character out of like a, some old movie that some the Southern PI,
Mhm.
who's dirty and corrupt, and I mean, I just the whole group of them, they repulse me in such a visceral way
Yeah, yeah.
that they're so utterly bereft of morality, of of even the slightest respect for our country or our
Mhm.
constitution. They're selfish little pygmies, and everything they're in is for themselves. Give me more, give me more,
Yeah.
give me more PPP loans I won't pay back. Give me, I mean, they're just the scummiest, and that's who's in. Again, say what we want about the Romneys and the Kinsingers or whatever, they were a stabilizing force,
Mhm.
the Jeff Flakes. And I will criticize all of these folks for not having enough courage to stand up, except for Mitt Romney during the first impeachment. And I will encourage them many times for not speaking up strongly enough and stopping their party along the way, because there were off ramps
Yeah.
along the way, and they took none of them. They pandered and said, but at least these guys were stabilizing forces, so the whole place wasn't going to become what it is now.